welcome back to another episode of C programming tutorial. In today's episode we are going to learn about how to working with macros with arguments. So like functions, it is possible to pass arguments or parameters to a macro. So here in this program I am going to demonstrate how to working with a macro with some arguments. So here in this program I am going to create two macros that accept one argument, and it will find out the area and perimeter of a circle. So here I am going to define two macros. Hash define. I name the first macro as area, and like function you have to specify some arguments also. So I put some argument here, and here you need to specify that statement in brackets. So here I'm going to specify the formula for finding the area of a circle. So pi r square 3.14 into, here the argument is x into x. This is the macro definition. X is the argument and area is the macro template. Okay, so now finding the perimeter of a circle using macro. Hash define perimeter. Again use another macro here. Now specify the macro expansion. 2 into 3.14 into, here the macro, here the argument is y, so put y. Okay, so here I specify, declare a variable called a radius and ask the user to enter the radius of the circle and save that value into variable radius. Okay, so now I'm going to call that macro. So printf area equal to %f. So here I'm going to call that macro. So area and pass radius as argument. Now find out the perimeter of the circle. Perimeter equal to %f. Now call the macro called perimeter and pass the argument. Here the argument is radius. Okay, so when this program scanned by the C preprocessor, it will replace this statement with the macro expansion. So here at the time of macro expansion, instead of variable x, it will replace the variable x with the variable radius. So the variable x is the macro parameter and radius is the variable used in this program. So it will replace the macro expansion like this, 3.14 into radius into radius. So we can check the program. So I compile it. Now run it. Enter radius. We got the area and perimeter of the circle. Guys, this is how we working with macros with arguments in C programming. Also, you need to care about two things while you are working with macros. You have to make sure that there is no space between the macro template and the argument. So if you provide a space between the macro template and argument, the preprocessor will assume that this is also a macro expansion that will cause some compiler error or unwanted output. So make sure that always make sure that there is no space between the macro template and its arguments. Also specify the statement associated with a macro in brackets. If you are working with macro with parameter, this is also important. You have to put the statements in brackets and make sure that there is no space between the macro template and the parameter. I hope you enjoy this video. Please try it by yourself. Thank you for watching. See you in the next part.